Looks like we have another caller, Steve. Steve has questions about his dog. Steve, you're on the air.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
So yeah, I wanted to ask just a little bit. I have actually a couple friends who have an 8-month-old dog who's getting to that phase where she eats everything she sees, and it's obviously getting frustrating for them. But what kind of expectations can people really have about their dogs and their ability to control themselves, and even at that age to, how would they safe-proof their apartment and things like that?
That's an excellent question. It's a very good question because if you look at animal shelters all around the country, you will see dogs who are about 8 months old to about 2 years old. This is about the age when people start to give up on their dogs because they've hit adolescence, and it doesn't matter the species. Adolescence is difficult to deal with, and a lot of people sort of decide that they just can't do what they need to do and take care of their dog, and decide not to keep the dog. We have a free behavior hotline. I encourage people to call it. We've got I answer it. Avi answers questions. Melissa Klett, who was on here before, answers questions, and we'll help you as often as talk to you as often as you need to for help. But basically with an adolescent dog, it's really about setting boundaries. You are allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do this. I think crate training is wonderful with dogs, especially at this age, to prevent them from getting into things they're not supposed to. When somebody says, my dog chewed up this item, and this item, my first question is, well, what did you do wrong? The dog didn't do something wrong. The person did something wrong by not controlling their dog's behavior. They didn't crate train the dog. They didn't give the dog enough exercise. They didn't give the dog appropriate or enough toys, etc. So it really is all about the owner changing how they handle their dog.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Steve. Now it looks like we've got another Steve on the line with a question. Steve, you're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon, ladies. How you doing?
Hi.
I heard you at the beginning of the show, you talking about the dogs socializing with each other and whatnot. I have a question. I'm quite sure you probably hear this so much. And this one is about the Rottweilers and the Pits. Now, you hear people always tell you how sweet and how kind they are. And, you go to people's homes now, some of them have them. I'm actually really fearful to even touch them. Because they always tell you, they say, well, he's good with the kids. But every time you turn on the news or open the paper, the dog is attacking people and grab your face and don't never want to let go. So, I mean, what is the real deal? I always hear so much is in their nature to fight. But, I mean, why do they do what they do?
That's a really excellent question. I'm so glad that you brought it up because Rottweilers and Pit Bulls are one of my favorite breeds of dog. And I think probably they might be one of my favorite breeds of dog. Oops.
Oh. Well, looks like we lost Steve, but
It's still an important.
Hopefully he's still watching. So.
Yeah, it's still an important question to answer. I think that there's a lot of breeds who just sort of have a bad reputation, and everyone assumes that they're all bad. I think that people take physically large and strong dogs and abuse them and misuse them, and that's the reason why you see some of these dogs that are awful. The first thing I tell people is I have 3 dogs at home, and one of them is a Chihuahua. You can pet my other 2 dogs. Do not touch the Chihuahua because he's the one who's going to have issues. But you're not going to read anything in the newspaper about a Chihuahua who bit somebody because it's not newsworthy. People, like a Chihuahua bit somebody, big deal. Oh my goodness, a Rottweiler chased somebody down the street, and all of a sudden it's news. So a lot of it is these dogs have reputation. It's more sensational to write about these breeds. I have a great concern about, I talk to a lot of people whose Cocker Spaniels bite their children, but they assume because they don't read about Cocker Spaniels biting kids in the newspaper that they must be okay dogs. So I think a lot of it is just plain old prejudice, and we have to break those ideas of prejudice by saying, I'm not going to believe that just because a dog is a Rottweiler or a Pit Bull or an XYZ dog, that it's a good dog or that it's a bad dog. And you judge the dog as an individual animal and just say, this is the dog I like. This is a good dog. This is a dog who is well socialized, a dog who's well trained, a dog who's treated well by his family, and it doesn't matter what his breed is, he's going to be a nice animal.
It's good to know. And now we have another caller. William has a question. William, you're on the air.
Yes, how you doing?
Hi.
And appreciate you for taking my call. Yes. I'm one of the owners that you were talking about with the Rottweiler, and I also have an Akita.
Yes.
Akita is the older dog. She's 7.
Okay.
And I'm mixing a small puppy Rottweiler with her.
Okay.
And she's neutered, but he's not.
Okay.
But she seems to like, you know, I'm tired of playing and nips at him.
Yeah.
But he keeps coming back. So I'm wondering, is it okay for me to leave him alone with her or not?
How old is the puppy?
He's 7 weeks now.
Oh, he's a baby.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't leave her alone. I wouldn't leave them alone together, and there's a couple of reasons. It's because he's too young to protect himself, and I'm not saying that he's in danger from her, but certainly if she does nip him too hard, there's nobody there to help him. If she steps on him or he falls down something, she can't help him to do that. So that if they have to be left alone, I would keep them separated until he's larger and a little bit more able to take care of himself. An adult female dog is going to give hooey to any puppy because that is her right, and her station in life is to tell off little dogs. And I'll tell you, that female dog of yours is going to be the best training tool and the best socialization tool you will ever have for that puppy. He will grow up to be a polite, well-mannered young man who says yes ma'am and no sir because she told him knock it off. He's going to go, oh, she's right, I really shouldn't do that. He's 7 weeks old, so he doesn't get it yet. In 3 weeks, he's going to perfectly understand everything she says.
Well, you know, I have her trained not to walk in the grass. And now I see him just following her, not doing it, you know, and they can't talk. So, but he follows her and doesn't walk in the grass also.
Right. Yeah, a well-trained adult dog is a wonderful training tool for a puppy. So she's going to make everything a lot easier for you. So you make sure you put something a little extra in her Christmas basket this year.
All right. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you for calling.